are at the Real India Day. Everyone here is really charged up by the fact that a real Indian's running. They have no problem with the fact that we're exposing Elizabeth Warren, except the white liberal racists. Real Indians know the truth and they're looking for the truth. All right, here we are at IAGB. Amazing thing, lots of people out here. You can see the crowds out there. Thank you very much for coming out. About a year ago today, we were walking through here. There was about 40,000 people there. And we had to walk up there, right? And everything was cordoned off. And ended up as about 40 of us. 1/3 of the people later joined the Shiva for Senate campaign as volunteers against a crowd of 40,000 people. Because the Democrats and Republicans in this state who take advantage of black people, Black Lives Matter to them to the extent they can exploit black people, use that day to manipulate people to say that I'm a white supremacist.
A white supremacist that will come into our city.
So anyway, we're back here on August 19th. Here we are. Hi everyone, this is Dr. Shiva Ayyadurai. Many of you may know, 1 year ago today on August 19th, 2017, we were right here. At that time, there were around 40,000 people surrounding us around here. And it was 40 of us. It was like a scene out of Braveheart. We had just come in here. The media was forced to not come here because the mayor of Boston, the Democrat mayor of Boston, Marty Walsh, and the Republican governor of Massachusetts, a never-Trumper, had told people that I was a white supremacist, that this was a Nazi event. And that was the kind of lies that they did to suppress free speech. So was us out here, I'll shortly be retweeting out that speech, but what I want to let everyone know is that today's an important occasion. It's August 19th, 2018, 1 year from August 19th, 2017, when we were here defending everyone's right to speech. The speech I gave, which we'll retweet shortly, was really about a message of love and hope and about bringing people together. We had a sign here which said Black Lives Do Matter. We had another sign which said free speech now. We had a sign that said no to Monsanto. Elizabeth Warren, the Democrats and Republicans have worked together to poison our children. There is no academic free speech in universities like MIT or Harvard. If you say anything against Monsanto, you have no career. So there is no academic free speech. That's what we talked about. And we ended my talk talking about love, love, love. That's what our speech was, that the complete reckless and corrupt mayor of Boston, Marty Walsh, as well as his former police commissioner, Evans, and Charlie Baker, characterized as a Nazi white supremacist event. Why? Because these career politicians wanted black votes. Black lives mattered to them to the extent that they can exploit them. So we're here, you know, by the way, that wasn't the only fight for free speech that I've done. You know, prior to that, I fought Gawker Media, which said all sorts of defamatory, libelous things. We believe in truthful free speech. The First Amendment is about free speech, but it does not protect defamation and libel. But after that, shortly, about a year after that, some of you may know, we put this symbol on our bus, on our campaign bus, which has a picture of Elizabeth Warren and me, and it says, "Only a real Indian can defeat the fake Indian." And when we put that on, this was on March of 2018, a few weeks later, we got a notice from the building department of Cambridge saying that if we did not remove that, I would be personally fined $300 a day. Well, we didn't listen to that. In fact, we went into our standard warrior mode, which was we sued the city of Cambridge in federal court and we won. And then shortly, about 3 weeks ago on July 22nd, I was at an Elizabeth Warren rally calling her out as a racist because that's what she is. Here's a dark-skinned Indian guy exposing Elizabeth Warren as a racist. Now, at that event, which you guys can also go check out, it was a town hall, quote-unquote town hall, that Elizabeth Warren had a bunch of her white liberal racists attend, and we invited them to come to our side, our beautiful lawn, and have them participate with us to have a discourse. They didn't want to do that. In fact, what they did was, as I started exposing Elizabeth Warren as a racist, they sent one of their Democratic Party henchmen who came over and punched me in the face with a megaphone. Fortunately, the Paul Rabel, the judge in Great Barrington, found him guilty. And typically, on a first-time offense, they just get a slap on the wrist and dismissed. This was not dismissed. He has nearly 1 year probation. He has to go to anger management again. A big victory. We're here because we need to recognize that the Shiva for Senate campaign is at the tip of the spear for fighting for free speech, not only here, but across the country. And anyone listening out there needs to recognize that we say only a real Indian can defeat a fake Indian, and it's really about integrity. And everyone wants, anyone who wants to help support our movement here can do something very simple. We recognize all of you work for a living. You don't have time to be a political hack, which is what all the other politicians do. The way you can help is go online right now to shivaforsenate.com. There's a little store button, and in fact, there's a link right on the front page. It's called a Road Warrior Kit, and you can literally get one of these magnetic signs. In fact, you get 2 of them, and you put it on your car, all American made. And what you're doing is you're using your car as a weapon to say, A, that you stand up for free speech, and B, that you do not want any more people like Elizabeth Warren or Hillary Clinton or any of these people taking advantage of the American public. So that's the speech I gave here. The speech I gave here was exposing the Democrats and Republicans as a party of race. The Republicans point the fingers at poor blacks, and the Democrats take advantage of poor whites. So you have both parties who create race war. And we want to end that, because what we really recognize is that the only way out of racism, number one, is education. That's what my great-grandfather said. Education is a key out of ignorance. So we want more vo-tech schools. We want to educate people. We want more high-paying jobs. And that's the way out of racism. The Democrats blame poor whites, and the awful right-wing talk show hosts start blaming the poor blacks, and that's how they split the votes. We want to bring people together. Again, please go listen shortly to the speech we gave on August 19th, 2017, where it was a message of love and hope. It was not a white supremacist message, as the racist establishment media did, and so did Charlie Baker, the fake Republican, as well as Marty Walsh. So anyway, August 19th, 2018 is a day for celebration, because as you look out there, we stood up for free speech, and we want all of you to stand up for free speech. Again, shivaforsenate.com. Go to the store and get a Road Warrior kit today. Thank you, everyone. Be well.
We also have a message to the hate groups, especially any that are planning to come to our city this weekend. Boston does not welcome you here. Boston does not want you here. Boston rejects your message. We reject racism. We reject white supremacy. We reject anti-Semitism. We reject the KKK. We reject neo-Nazis. We reject domestic terrorism. And we reject hatred. And we will do every single thing in our power to keep hate out of our city.
They tried to stomp us today, didn't they?
Yeah. I want to thank all of the people that came out today.
Presents himself as a Democrat, as a liberal.
To fight back on the white supremacists that were coming to our city.
He called me a right-wing nut job and a white supremacist.
To fight back on the white supremacists that were coming to our city.
And a white supremacist.
To fight back on racism. To fight back on anti-Semitism. To fight back on the white supremacists that were coming to our city, on the Nazis that were coming to our city.
I don't see any racists here.
Here's the thing. They called it a white supremacist
Nazi
rally. Right.
Hate group
40,000.
Yep.
I've had the pleasure of speaking at the other rallies after the fact. I remember seeing that video, and it was just somebody's cell phone, because the
it was my cell phone. It was my cell phone.
That was you.
That was our cell phone.
Okay. Let me preface this. Because there was no press allowed, nobody could get in there.
And they jammed the Wi-Fi there.
And they jammed the Wi-Fi there. So this stuff, which is why you saw the video after the fact.
To fight back on the white supremacists that were coming to our city.
He called me a right-wing nut job and a white supremacist.
To fight back on the white supremacists that were coming to our city.
And a white supremacist.
To fight back on racism. To fight back on anti-Semitism. To fight back on the white supremacists that were coming to our city, on the Nazis that were coming to our city.
I don't see any racists here. I see black people, I see Chinese people, I see people of all different spectrums here.